What is going on, guys? Today we got smacked. Oh my god, it is worse than you think. $414 loss? Nope. We copy traded today and we lost $800 trading the NASDAQ. This one hurt my soul, guys. Again, I lost in physics class. I'm over 2 in physics class taking trades, right? So now we're back at like 1400 drawdown. I know it's just one trade. I'm actually in a better situation on this account than I was. At some point, I was in like 1100 drawdown on both of these accounts, and I brought this one back. What the fuck is that? But I brought this one back to like 1800 yesterday, and then I lost today, so I'm back to like 1400. But like, I'm still gonna risk 400 on my next trade to make whatever 400 or 500, and I'll be back if I win, right? Making sure I'm taking A plus setups. But I want to recap. There's a lot of things I could have done better, but and we're not copy trading anymore because this. Yeah, huh? Yeah, one sec. Um, so pretty much we're not copy trading because this one has a balance of 700 and this one's at a balance of fucking 1400. Not a balance, but drawdown, right? So I'm just trying to get a payout on this account because has doubled the drawdown of the other account pretty much, and I'm like one trade away from going back to break even, and then I can probably get a payout by the end of October. So yeah, let's recap. So coming into today, we pretty much pushed past these highs from yesterday, and on the 4 hour, we're just in this gap, right? And it's like, I don't really think we're gonna come and inverse the gap. If we do, yep, I'll target all-time highs, right? But for now, I think we're gonna stay within like this 4 hour range. It's not really range, but within whatever this is, right? And pretty much, I was right? My bias was pretty simple. I wanted to see us um, most likely come down and sweep out. This was my draw for the day, this low right here. And then if we went lower, there was a 4 hour gap. I'm pretty sure it was this one. But yeah, so pretty much, and then this, I don't think we took this high out actually. Yeah, we didn't take this high out until after market open. Oh, sorry for that. So pretty much at open, I'm in my class, and we literally just diddy candle down at open, and I'm like, okay, it is pretty clear we're most likely gonna come take some sort of sell side liquidity, tap into some sort of imbalance on the 4 hour, and then go higher most likely, right? Because we're over on bullish structure. So I was looking for a continuation trade towards this low, right? And you can already see the execution, but I'll show you the specific trade I took. It was like a stop above here. Yeah, and like you can already tell how shit this was because if I took TP at my actual TP, it would have been negative RR. But I do occasionally like set the TP like a few points lower if my RR is kind of cooked, and I'll just be break even. And the worst case, worst, I close it early for like a 0.8 R, 0.7 R win, right? But so pretty much we displaced lower. We created this 1 minute gap, and my thought process was if this 1 minute gap holds, we're gonna come lower and take this low, right? And then once again we tapped into it with a wick, and then instantly just sold off. And I'm like, bro, we're most likely gonna just come for that low, and I was wrong, right? And I played my stop above the high that tapped into the gap, and my TP was like slightly past the low, maybe like 3 to 4 points past the low. I think I entered a little bit earlier to make sure I got better R. Yeah, it was more like literally. It was literally like a point past the low. It was this, right? Because I knew if I entered too late, it would have been cooked. And now that I'm looking at it, bro, yeah, I should have been break even, but it's like whatever. Because it was like 8 to 10 points away from my take profit, but this is just such a small like point target that like we probably can just wick my break even and come back and take it. So I was like, I'm gonna let it breathe. I'm gonna give it some time, and pretty much I got wicked out by like, oh, okay, that's actually a decent amount, like 5 points. know, like 4 points, right? Taps into the gap deeper, dumped to the TP. I got liquidated. I got souped, and I lost $414 on 2 accounts. And it hurt my soul because I was like, one thing is first when I get stopped out in class, right? That's already annoying, right? And I'm like, we're probably just gonna inverse this and take out this high. This is probably a better draw. And then I'm like, bro, as soon as I see it flip off this candle, if I just like took that, bro, oh my god, my life would have just been so much better. So there's 2 to 3 things mainly wrong with this trade, and I think one of them was like a breakage of my rules, or 2 of them. The first thing is that we didn't actually see a retrace into the gap on this first wick up. This isn't a proper retrace. Just wicking up into a gap isn't a good retrace. A retrace to me is like 1 to 2 candles tapping into a gap nicely, right? Closing, not just a candle that wicks up and flips. That has been a common reason why I've been losing. Literally every single trade I've lost was because of that. That wasn't like a statistical loss, right? That not every continuation trader took. It was because we wick up into a gap and we don't get a proper retrace. The second thing is that I don't have a safe stop loss, right? If I take this and my stop loss is above this high, since we didn't get a proper retrace, this high isn't protected, right? And we have this much room left in this big ass 1 minute gap to come and tap into, right? So the true protected stop is above the 1 minute gap, right? And I couldn't play that stop solely on the fact that the RR was bad, right? And that's a sign that I shouldn't be taking the trade because 1, the RR was bad, and 2, we didn't get an actual retrace into the gap, right? And normally I don't struggle with saying like I have a safe stop, but I just didn't think about my stop loss. I kind of just got scared I was gonna miss out on the move, and like yeah, we actually did get pretty damn close to the low. We were like 8-7 points away, right? We were pretty damn close. But I didn't get break even. I took a loss. You can clearly see, right? And my bias was right. It was just an execution error and a stop loss error on my point. Because the stop is always, unless we actually retrace into the gap, then yeah, and then we flip, then yes, this high is protected. But wicking up into a gap and then just doing that, this high isn't protected, right? And if my bias is right, this gap should hold. It doesn't matter how many times we sweep the intermediate highs, the gap should hold if my bias is right. This high doesn't need to hold if my bias is still right. It can get swept and we can dump, right? Like we did, right? But I kind of just forced this trade because I would have got like super cooked RR if I would have got like 0.7 R if I took it. And this was another reason not to take the trade because the stop wasn't safe. Like it's like, bro, if I'm looking at this and I'm like, bro, that stop is not safe, and I don't even have enough confirmation to enter yet, and no matter where I put my stop, the RR is cooked, that's just a sign not to take the trade. So pretty much I got stopped out, boom, sweep, dump. And sorry for my mic, by the way. I don't know. I'm just, once I get a pay, I'll upgrade my whole setup. But I can't do anything right now. But yeah. So pretty much I'm going to do 2 things differently next time, or every time I take the trade. The first thing is making sure I have a not when I'm not taking any more like wicks up into gaps. I'm only taking proper retraces into gaps no matter what, right? Because that has been like the only reason I've been losing, and it's been common in back testing and in live markets. So I'm not gonna be taking any trades when we wick up into like a 1 minute gap. Yeah, sure, we can wick down into like a 5 minute gap, but not a 1 minute gap specifically. The second thing is I will make sure my stop is protected, because in this case, if you put it above this high and took this trade, yes, it is protected because we tapped the equilibrium and we flipped, right? And we got a proper retrace. And if I don't have a safe stop loss, then I will not be taking the trade, because that means the RR is really bad, right? Or I don't have enough confirmation to enter the trade and I'm just forcing it, right? Because I take this trade, it's truly not really enough confirmation because it's mid-candle and my stop loss is cooked, like right there, right? and then putting it here would just mean it's not protected, because wicking up into a gap and not like actually retracing is not a. This was not a valid retrace. That's why the high was not protected, because once we actually retrace and flip, okay, that's confirming the bias that we're going to get this low, right? On the higher time frame, we probably want to take out this intermediate low and then push up higher like we did, right? But since we didn't get a proper retrace, this high wasn't protected, right? But since we got the retrace proper and a proper flip, this high is not protected, and I can place my stop above that high, right? But if I wanted to enter prematurely, I would need a stop above the gap, because otherwise it is not a safe stop loss, and that would be the reason I lost. So pretty much the first two things is, do I have a safe stop, and then the other thing is, was it a proper retrace? And I know this, but I think I just got a little bit of FOMO today, and I kind of got confident after, like my last two trades I took, they've both been wins, right? Even though they've been kind of spread apart. I'm like, and the also other thing was like, I need one more trade to get out of drawdown, and then on the other account I'll be like 1,700 balance. I'm like, shit, bro, this trade, and like, bro, it was literally like, why can't we just follow through with that wick, bro? And again, I actually was open to the fact, since we were flipping so clean, I was open to the fact of taking a trade, but it would have to be like the most A plus setup, because I already took a loss. It would be breaking my rules a little bit, but if I'm taking one trade a day, and it's like I I will just keep myself open to taking A plus setups. But I think I'm not gonna do that for now, but because I'm in some deep drawdown on these accounts. But if I'm like, if I'm like, if I take a loss and my balance is good and I'm willing to risk more, then yeah, if A plus setup shows up and I realize the first setup I took wasn't the best I could have taken, and like the most A plus setup shows up, I'm gonna take it, right? But for now, we stick to one setup a day, right? I mean, it's like one trade today, tomorrow, or the day after, I'm back at the balance I was today, right? And then the next week I can work towards the payout, right? And literally that it'll take 2 to 3 trades, because I already have 2 winning days locked in. I only need 3 more winning days for a payout. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go for like $750 to $1,000 payout, but you guys can let me know what you want me to do, and yeah, that's it.